Booker. Hi, Tasha.
Hi, Tom.
I'm so happy you joined me this morning for 7 minutes of sunshine at 7:07 a.m.
Only
How
you
you
can get
feel?
me up this early.
How you feel about that 7:07? Um, well, it's very kind of you to join us this morning to share your values and your superpower with folks. And sharing our values is just a real big part. I think important for especially for leaders in our community to let folks know what drives them, and also to let folks know that there's a lot of good people doing some darn good things out there. So thank you for that, Tasha. And I thought I'd share a little bit about you before we get started.
Okay.
I see, I look everybody up, and I do. What's cool is I've known you for a while, but I get to learn some cool things. I see that you went to Mount Vernon Nazarene University and got your master's degree in education in 2012. And my nephew went there, Tony
I
Cap.
know.
So
Yeah, we've connected about that. Yeah.
that's really cool. And then, I met you when you were at the United Way, and then you were a Next Gen Fellow, and now you are the Vice President and Executive Director of City Year. Do you mind sharing a little bit about City Year with folks?
Yeah, thank you. So City Year is a national education nonprofit working in 29 cities right here in Columbus. And then we also have a Cleveland team. We're working with students who are at risk of not graduating from school. And as you know, the pandemic has only exacerbated some of the challenges that some of our students face in the school. So we're here to support. We have 62 young professionals who are serving every day in school. Some of us are going back to school, but we've been serving virtually since the pandemic.
Very, very nice. Great work that you do there. And then I know you're also a board member at the Human Services Chamber. I thought maybe you could share what that is too, because I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Human Services Chamber is a consortium of over now 109 or so nonprofit agencies who've come together to, advocate, to raise funds and resources. The nonprofit community is serving the most vulnerable citizens in our community. And so the chamber's led by Michael Corey. I'm a proud board member, and we're really just trying to do good for, the families and the residents and our neighbors who need our help the most.
Nice, nice. Well, and I know you just joined the Future 50 class, which is exciting.
Mhm.
And then, basically, I love what you have on your link. That says that you are a coalition builder, a visionary influencer, and a strategist. And I agree, you are. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this our slide up that we worked on together. I'm going to turn it over to you and give you the floor and allow you to share. So go for it.
All right. So families at the top. That's the cornerstone of who I am. They keep me grounded. They push me. They know me better than anyone. The photo you're seeing there is my birthday. I turned 42 this year, this past January. And we come together and celebrate everyone's birthday. As you know, the pandemic has kept us all kind of isolated, but we've been isolating and quarantining together so that we can enjoy one another's company. So family is where I find peace and home. And my husband is just a really great guy, and my two sons, college son who's in Illinois, just when I've had a bad day or just need some support, my family is who I turn to first. And then there's empathy. If I haven't learned anything through this pandemic, is that empathetic leadership is so necessary. It was necessary prior to the pandemic, but certainly through the pandemic and beyond. We're going to need empathetic leadership. And empathy really is about understanding where someone else is coming from. We've all been in this virtual space, and we've been invited to one another's homes. We're on these calls where kids are crying and dogs are barking. You hear my dog in the background, and you know, giving up that idea of perfection, right? So no one's perfect, no family is perfect, no situation is perfect, and we need to lead with that a little bit more. That having empathy for your neighbor, for your colleague, for your friend is really okay, right? And it's good leadership. And I think people are going to start to choose to work for organizations and for companies where there's empathetic leadership at the top. And authenticity, I kind of fell into who I am, being authentic. There was a time where people would tell me how much they, enjoyed my candor and, you're just, so down to earth. And I used to cringe at that, right? Because we're not taught really how to be ourselves. You kind of fall into it or not, right? Like you can't bring your authentic self into certain spaces. But I've been very fortunate to work for an organization that really embraces who you are, and you can show up and you can bring all of that to the workplace. It only makes you a better person and a better colleague. And I also think being authentic, means being who you are in all spaces, right? So not just at work or not just at home. We talk a lot about code switching in the Black community, and it's like I'm giving that up. This is who I am, and you either love it or you don't. I'll respect that, but I've got to be authentically me if we're going to get anything done here in this community. And then belonging. The photo to the far right is a wall that we had designed at the City of Columbus offices. And you can see, all are welcome here, Black Lives Matter, love is love, women's right. We want to create a space, and I believe that people should belong and feel a sense of community and belonging in every space that they walk in. And certainly for the amount of time we spend, in the workplace, you certainly want people to feel like, going back to the authenticity, that they can bring their authentic self and still be successful, and they feel a sense of community when they're at work. But I don't like to be in places and spaces where I feel uncomfortable or I'm made to feel less than. And so I really try to lead with that sense of belonging. Everyone has a voice and has a space, and they deserve to be both seen and heard. And then lastly, relationship builder is my superpower. I believe in the power of relationships. It really is the only way that we can get things done. Whether it's relationships with your family, with your friends, or your, professional network, it is so great to have relationships, to be able to pick up the phone when you're in a, in a low, valley, or, to have someone to celebrate with. But also, it is what I think is going to move our community and our nation forward is relationships. We're only going to get out of this by getting to know your neighbor, getting to know the people who are around you, or not, right? Getting to know people who may not look like you or who may not come from the same walks of life. But boy, how rich your life is with relationships. So I am the consummate connector. And so relationships is my superpower.
Nice, nice, nice. I love it. I love it. Lots of good stuff in there. You definitely are a relationship builder. I know that for sure from personal experience. You've always made me feel so welcome. When I was on the board at United Way, getting to work with you was a joy. It was a joy. You said a couple things in there that I want to point out. And when you're talking about authenticity, you talked about code switching. Could you share? Not everybody's familiar with that.
True.
Could you share a little bit more about what that means and what that is?
Yeah. So in the Black community, or community of color, now called BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color, and others, right? Folks from the LGBTQ plus we have to fit in so many spaces where, going back to that, where we don't belong, and so we sometimes have to change how we talk and how we show up and who we are in order to belong, in order to fit in. So code switching is sometimes using a voice that might not sound like yours, so that you get good customer service. Or it's not being your authentic self. Maybe when you're on a side of town, you try to just fit in and not make too much of a fuss. And it's a lot of weight and water to carry.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. I agree. I've done it too. I know in the gay community, right? So butch it up in the boardroom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fantastic. And then just to really let go and be yourself wherever you are is a big deal.
It
isn't it?
is. It is
Yeah.
so freeing. It's
Wow.
freeing.
Wow. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Tasha. Thanks for sharing your values. They're fantastic. I see them in you for sure. You show up with them every day. And I just want to say, I mean, we're just so lucky to have you leading City Year right now in this community. We are so lucky. It's a great organization. And all the things you shared about being an empathetic leader, and I'm sure that your folks feel that, and then of course the folks you serve feel that. So really appreciate you for just being in the community and being out there and making a difference every day. So thank you for that.
Thank
Um,
you, Tom.
and thank you for sharing your values. And I hope to get to know you, or I hope to keep getting to know you for many years to come in this community as we work together to make it better. And I guess I'll just to end, it's been a crazy time, hasn't it, with
Mhm.
with everything that's been going on. Tell me how you feel about the future.
Tom, I'm optimistic. And
Mhm.
I started feeling a sense of optimism this fall. Certainly, it came with, the announcement that the vaccines. Today, we're hearing that Johnson and Johnson is going to, get emergency authorization. But more than that, really watching how our community rallied together to support one another. Right? Like, yes, you saw some really bad apples, right, and some bad moments, but for the most part, I don't tend to believe that everyone is bad. I think we see much more good in our communities, right, in our individual communities, neighbors helping neighbors, families helping families, and so that to me is what our country and our community is about, and that's what puts a smile on my face every day when getting up and helping. I've been in nonprofit and service work for my entire career, and I see the hope that comes out of that.
Nice. Oh, I'm feeling good now. I'm right there with you. I agree 100%. So, and I tell you, I've interviewed about 70 different folks over the last year on this program, and I have not heard anyone that who was not hopeful.
Yeah.
So we just have some really great leaders in this community, and I'm feeling very hopeful too. So, thank you, Tasha. Thank you for
Thank you,
sharing
Tom.
today. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and remember, even when it's really damn cloudy out, the sun is always shining, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right. All right.
All
Have a good
right.
one. Have a good one. Take care.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.